Yes, everyone, the rumors are true. I am anti-Israel. I am pro-Palestine. And I am 100% 10 toes down anti-Israel.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a good one. 15 seconds. We'll be right back.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more f***ed up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends.
Still Point, STILPOINT. Conquering is on the menu. It's always these little AI images are so fun to make. I always so excited. It's like Christmas morning unwrapping it. It's also like Christmas morning to hear what these college students from these woke colleges are going to come up with tomorrow and later today and next week, whenever they change the important things in their life. The lady that we saw, I think it's lady, I don't want to assume, but let's go ahead and assume. The college student who obviously is going to go ahead and espouse and educate everyone about the Middle East and why Palestine is so important, even though she couldn't even point Palestine on a map before October 7th. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and assume that certain things happen in the world and people rise to the occasion. Let's listen to what she has to say. I'm going to try not to interrupt her and see if we can put it all together in one complete package of batshit crazy. Here it is.
Yes, everyone, the rumors are true. I am anti-Israel. I am pro-Palestine. And I am 100% 10 toes down anti-Israel. I believe Israel has no right to exist. I believe
her name's Wokekindergarten, and I don't know if that's because that's who she's trying to indoctrinate or date. I'm not really quite sure. She has a interesting haircut, and I promise you this, if she met anyone who was pro-Hamas, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Muslim Brotherhood, the IRGC, she would be put to death immediately based upon her selection of garb. Just because you're wearing a shemagh doesn't mean that you are going to be safe in an Arabic country. I did interrupt, but in case you want to follow her, and I could at least give her a prop, Wokekindergarten, that's your person. She's probably a teacher.
The United States has no right to exist. I believe every settler colony who has committed genocide against native peoples, against indigenous people, has no right to exist. I believe in a free Palestine, from the river to the sea. I believe one day Palestine will be free. Is this news to anybody? White supremacy destroys for the sake of destruction. Abolition destroys for the sake of creation. We are not the same. I have an unwavering respect for children, an unwavering love and care and compassion for children, a commitment to children and to their freedom, to their learning, to their lives, to sustaining their lives. Y'all are the demons. Y'all are the villains. We've been trying to end y'all, get free of y'all. Yes, everyone, the rumors are true. I am anti-Israel.
So let me get this straight. We condemn all conquerors, anybody who has ever owned slaves or done any atrocities towards indigenous people need to be eradicated from this earth. Sounds like conquering to me. Sounds like supremacy to me. And when you're going to use the catchphrase that symbolizes Palestinian control over the entire territory of Israel's borders from the Jordanian River to the Mediterranean Sea, that would eradicate all Jews from the premises. But that's been tried before. But let's go ahead and do it again. Who did that again? Okay. But the interesting thing is the video itself. And the first thing that comes to mind is absolutely. Let's delve into the riveting assertion that no one deserves to exist if they've ever conquered another people or country. If they didn't exist, who would history students write about? And all those essays at 2 a.m. at all those woke schools so they could then complain about it on TikTok? I wonder, but I digress. Prepare yourself for a journey through history's ironic twists and turns with a hefty dose of sarcasm for good measure, because I wouldn't have it any other way. First off, let's consider the foundation of every nation on earth. Doesn't matter whether you talk about Genghis Khan, you can talk about the Ming Dynasty, you can talk about Caesar, you can talk about the Persians. Doesn't matter. Just pick someone. We could even do Napoleon. There's a spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you a little secret. They all conquered people. I know. It's just a conquest of epic proportion, from the ancient empires of Mesopotamia to the modern borders drawn in the aftermath of wars. Every country's history book reads like a who's who of conquerors. But according to our very reasonable premise here, this means, essentially nobody deserves to exist. It's like a global game of musical chairs, but the music stopped a few thousand years ago, and every seat is a throne of dubious moral standing. Now, let's talk about slavery, a worldwide problem that has plagued humanity across every continent. Now, the United States was the second major country to go ahead and abolish slavery. You speak of abolition. England was first, but the only reason they did it is because they wanted to use black slaves as conscripts to fight against the United States. Sounds like our motives were similar. It's almost like this happens everywhere. But every society at some point has dipped its toes into the murky waters of enslaving others. But according to the ironclad logic we're entertaining here, this would mean a collective human timeout in the naughty corner of the universe. It's an awkward moment when you realize that, historically speaking, we're all in this ethical quagmire together, united in questionable decisions, if you will. And then there's America, the land of the free and home of the brave, and arguably the freest of all countries that established freedom long before any other country. Did it take us as long to understand that it was antithetical to a republic and free society? The delicious irony here is thicker than a deep dish pizza. The United States, a country literally birthed from the conquest of Native American lands and built in part on the backs of enslaved people, now stands as a beacon, a bastion of freedom and democracy, or a republic with a representative democracy. But it's not important right now. It's like hosting a vegan banquet in a butcher's shop. Sure, the menu has changed, but the decor leaves one pondering. So in a world where every nation has been the conqueror or conquered, and sometimes both right before breakfast, the argument that nobody deserves to exist if they've conquered another country or people, it paints us into a rather uncomfortable corner. It's akin to saying your ancestors were naughty, so existence revoked for everyone. It's as if history is a game of tag and everyone now seems to be it. In conclusion, while the claim that no conqueror deserves to exist aims for moral high ground, it ironically ends up in a historical quicksand. It's a reminder that perhaps our focus should be less on condemning the past and more on understanding and improving the present. After all, if we were to erase every conqueror from history, we would be left with an empty stage and a very boring story. And let's be honest, who wants to read a history book that is just 800 pages of, and then very peacefully, nothing happened? Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show, Woke Kindergartner. I hope that you stop being woke and maybe become awake. It's interesting. People tell me all the time, man, why aren't you woke? You should be woke. You're a person who understands history. You're a smart guy. And the point is because I do understand history, I was never asleep. I'm aware of the atrocities of this country. I am aware of the atrocities of this world. I just tend not to live in the past, and I'm looking forward to the future, no matter how bleak it may be. Thanks, Joe Biden. Make sure you vote in 2024. You can find us tonight at 7 o'clock. The Don't Unfriend Me Show at thedumbshow.com. Stop on by, say hello, and watch our live show. You can also stop by thedumbshow.com, pick up some hats, some t-shirts, stuff like that if you want to. But please keep in touch and subscribe when you're there. We'll see you tonight, and have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.